The UFC is an extremely competitive organization. Only the best and toughest fighters make a name for themselves, but there is always someone better than you. There is always someone up and coming and even older fighters who will defeat you, and current fighters may not even realize this yet. We wanted to know who the fighters are that are busy rising fast through the ranks, and even the older ones with a shot. We went and looked at the statistics and what the experts say. Who knows, maybe you can put money on some of these names as presented in our video for today. This is the UFC Fast Rising Superstar List 2021. But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications on so you don't miss any of the new videos we post. Female number 8, Rose Namajunas. Rose Gertrude Namajunas, born on June 29, 1992, is an American mixed martial artist. She is currently signed to the Ultimate Fighting Championship, where she competes in the women's strawweight division and is a former UFC women's strawweight champion. As of October 5, 2020, she is number 1 in the UFC women's strawweight rankings. Male number 8, Dustin Poirier. Dustin Glenn Poirier is an American professional mixed martial artist, philanthropist, and former interim UFC lightweight champion. He holds notable victories over 5 former UFC champions: Max Holloway 2 times, Eddie Alvarez, Anthony Pettis, and Justin Gaethje, and Conor McGregor. As of March 9, 2021, he is the number 1 in the UFC lightweight rankings, and as of March 23, 2021, he is number 6 in the UFC men's pound-for-pound rankings. Number 7, Juliana Nicole Pena is a mixed martial artist who competes in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. She is the first woman to win the Ultimate Fighter. As of February 22, 2021, she is number 6 in the UFC women's bantamweight rankings. On December 20, 2015, Pena was arrested in Spokane, Washington, and charged with 2 counts of assault due to an altercation with bar staff following an earlier street fight in which Josh Gao, her training partner on the Skijitsu fight team, had been injured. A judge later granted a stipulation order of continuance in her case, such that if Pena had no other incidents for a year, the case would be dismissed. Pena was expected to face Sarah McMahon on January 16, 2021 at UFC on ABC 1, before being pushed back a week later to UFC 257 on January 24, 2021. Pena won the fight via submission in round 3. Male number 7, Alexander Volkanovski. Alexander Volkanovski was born on the 29th of September 1988. He is an Australian professional mixed martial artist, currently signed to the Ultimate Fighting Championship, where he is the current UFC featherweight champion. Volkanovski is also a former Australian Fighting Championship AFC featherweight champion. As of March 29, 2021, he is number 3 in the UFC men's pound-for-pound rankings. He appeared as a coach in the Malaysia Invasion, an amateur MMA reality show. Because of his Macedonian and Greek heritage, he uses the nickname The Great in reference to Alexander the Great, claiming that he was of a mixed Macedonian and Greek heritage, similar to himself. Female number 6, Aspen Ladd. Aspen is a professional mixed martial artist who competes in the bantamweight division of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. A professional since 2015, Ladd started her professional mixed martial arts career in Invicta FC. As of February 16, 2021, she is number 3 in the UFC women's bantamweight rankings and number 9 in the UFC women's pound-for-pound rankings. Male number 6, Francis Ngannou. Francis Xavier Ngannou is a French Cameroonian mixed martial artist. He currently competes in the UFC heavyweight division for the Ultimate Fighting Championship, where he is the reigning UFC heavyweight champion. He is known for being the hardest recorded puncher in UFC history. As of March 29, 2021, he is number 5 in the UFC men's pound-for-pound rankings. The reason he is not higher in the rankings is because he lands only 38% of his punches. If a fighter can evade his heavy punches, he can tire him out. Female number 5, Germaine de Randamie. Germaine Martha de Randamie is a Dutch mixed martial artist and former kickboxer. Undefeated in sanctioned kickboxing bouts, she has competed in the Ultimate Fighting Championship and was the first UFC women's featherweight champion. Prior to joining the UFC, de Randamie competed in the Strikeforce featherweight division. As of October 19, 2020, she is number 1 in the UFC women's bantamweight rankings and number 7 in UFC women's pound-for-pound rankings. Even though she lost the previous fight to Amanda Nunes, de Randamie faced Juliana Pena on October 4, 2020 at UFC on ESPN Home vs. Aldana. De Randamie defeated Pena via guillotine submission, the first submission win in her career. This win earned her the Performance of the Night bonus. Male number 5, Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman is a Nigerian-American professional mixed martial artist, former freestyle wrestler, and graduated folk-style wrestler. He currently competes in the welterweight division of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, where he is the reigning UFC welterweight champion. Usman was also the Ultimate Fighter 21 tournament winner. As of March 23, 2021, he is number 2 in the UFC men's pound-for-pound rankings. As a wrestler, Usman primarily competed at 84 kilograms and was the 10th U.S. University World Team member. Collegiately, he competed at 174 pounds and was the 10th NCAA Division II national champion, a 3-time NCAA D2 All-American, and a NAIA national qualifier. Female number 4, Valentina Shevchenko. Valentina Anatolievna Shevchenko, born March 7, 1988, is a Kyrgyzstani-Peruvian professional mixed martial artist and former Muay Thai fighter. She currently competes in the women's flyweight division for the the Ultimate Fighting Championship. She is the current UFC Women's Flyweight Champion. Shevchenko became champion at UFC 231 after defeating Joanna Jędrzejczyk, whom she also previously defeated 3 times in amateur Muay Thai bouts. Shevchenko is widely considered to be one of the best female fighters in the world. She is the younger sister of fellow UFC fighter Antonia Shevchenko. As of November 23, 2020, she is ranked number 2 in the UFC Women's pound-for-pound rankings. Male number 4, Israel Adesanya. Israel Mobolaji Tematayo Odenayo Oluwafemi Oluwabi Adesanya was born on the 22nd of July 1989 and is a Nigerian-born New Zealand professional mixed martial artist and former kickboxer and boxer. As a mixed martial artist, he is currently signed to the Ultimate Fighting Championship, where he is the UFC middleweight champion. In kickboxing, he is a former Glory Weight middleweight championship title challenger. As of March 29, 2021, he is number 4 in the UFC men's pound-for-pound rankings. Adesanya is widely considered as one of the best strikers in mixed martial arts, but never applies grappling techniques. He loves anime and invests heavily in property. Female number 3, Zhang Weili. Zhang Weili is a Chinese mixed martial artist. She is the former Kunlun Fight KLF strawweight champion and currently competes in the strawweight division of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, where she is the current UFC Women's strawweight champion. Zhang faced Jessica Adirondé for the UFC Women's strawweight championship on August 31, 2019 at UFC on ESPN Plus 15. She won the fight via first-round technical knockout to become the new strawweight champion. The win also earned Zhang her first Performance of the Night bonus award. She is the first ever Chinese and East Asian champion in UFC history. As of November 23, 2020, she is ranked number 3 in UFC Women's pound-for-pound rankings. Male number 3, Movsar Evloev. Evloev is a Russian mixed martial artist, currently signed to the UFC. He competes in the featherweight, bantamweight, and catchweight categories. Before his UFC endeavors, he had a brief stint in the M1 Global. Evloev made his UFC debut at UFC Fight Night in April 2019 and won via unanimous decision. In the MMA UFC scene, he's fought 14 fights, winning all 14, 7 by decision, 4 by submission, and 3 via knockouts. Female number 2, Amanda Nunes. Brazil's Amanda Nunes is a dominating name in the MMA scene. Currently signed to the UFC, Nunes is ultimately top of the list of the best female MMA fighters of all time. Nunes is the current champion of the women's bantamweight and featherweight divisions. She is the first woman to hold 2 division titles in the UFC and the first to defend 2 titles while holding onto them. Nunes fought in 24 professional MMA combats and won 20. She holds the number 1 spot in the UFC women's pound-for-pound rankings, but somebody must defeat her at some stage. Male number 2, Bryce Mitchell. In his childhood years, Mitchell explored the sport of basketball and wrestling. During his amateur years in MMA, he recorded a stunning 9-0 victory, which saw him invited to the reality television series The Ultimate Fighter Undefeated Featherweight Tournament. His impressive performance at Ultimate Fighter thus gained the American a signature deal with the UFC. In his UFC MMA career, he so far recorded victory in all 14 fights. Female number 1, Tatiana Suarez. Suarez, of Mexican ancestry but American nationality, had her taste of wrestling and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu before debuting in MMA. She emerged as the strawweight tournament winner in the 23rd season of the Ultimate Fighter reality show. Since debuting in the MMA scene, she's won all of the 8 fights she's fought in, becoming one of the few undefeated female fighters in the UFC. She was ranked 3rd in the UFC women's strawweight rankings and placed 7th in its women's pound-for-pound rankings. Male number 1, Shamil Gamzatov. Of Russian descent, Gamzatov isn't new to combat sport. At the tender age of 8, he had begun training in freestyle wrestling, and at 15, he had started training in amateur MMA. He won the World MMA title at the amateur level. This wasn't a surprise when he quickly recorded a victory by technical knockout in the first round of his professional MMA debut in the World Series of Fighting back in 2016. After signing a deal with the UFC in July 2018, he made his first UFC appearance in a fight with Kilson Abreu on November 9, 2019. He won the contest via split decision. In the MMA scene, Gamzatov has fought a total of 14 bouts and won all 14, 5 via knockouts, 5 via submission, and 4 via split decision. Gamzatov currently tops the list of active undefeated fighters in the UFC right now. These are the rising superstars of the UFC. Do you agree with our ranking? If you do or do not, please leave a comment telling us why. That is all we have time for today. We are looking forward to seeing you back soon. Until then, stay safe.